last night in Earl's Court here in London. I guess there were about 20,000 people in there. And when I kind of saw them, I guess it was when you did It's All Right, Mom, Only Bleeding, and every last one of them in the place was standing on their chair. And it was pretty, out front at least, there was pretty special kind of a feeling. I was reminded once again that you really do have a very, that you play a very special part in the lives of an extraordinary amount of people, all over the world. And I gather that this has always made you a bit uncomfortable, that people hold you in a very special place.
I don't feel uneasy with the part of it that is that part of it, but the other part of it, the part where you expect it to go to parties and record stores and be somebody. Be somebody all the time, That's made me feel uncomfortable.
Or the part that makes people presume that you have somehow a lot of answers that they might not to the larger questions.
Well, the answers to those questions, they've got to be in all the songs I've written. Someplace.
Sure.
If you know this, if you know where to look, I think you'll find the answer to those questions is right there in the songs. Better than I could
sit and talk about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Maybe it would be better. I'm not sure what it's going to sound like with the guitar going behind us. It might be drowning out what you've got to say.
I see.
But don't let that stop you from strumming something if the spirit moves you. But maybe that's why, over the years you've given very few interviews, because probably people just come by and once again hope that you're going to come up with some answers that are in the songs, and that are in the lyrics of your songs and in the music. But you've given, I don't think, more than maybe half a dozen major interviews, but you never really talk a whole lot to the press or radio people.
No, I haven't.
Do performers and artists feel that there's some kind of adversaries there when reporters come in?
Performers feel that they don't feel that they're adversaries, but they do feel that a lot of the they feel a lot of times that their points are not taken the right way, or they feel imposed upon to answer questions that have really little to do with why they fill halls or sell records.
Well, I got some questions for you that I hope aren't those, and I hope that they're also questions that the answers of which aren't really in your songs. For instance, it seems to me that we're sitting in London, and Mrs. Thatcher is the Prime Minister, and back home there seems to be a kind of a new political wave of conservatism sweeping across the world, and I wonder if that kind of concerns you at all, if you've noticed a change in the political winds, so to speak.
No, I don't know much change between conservatism or liberalism, or I can't see what difference is between either of those things.
But there are eras of relative freedom and eras of relative repression. And I think that in the 1960s, where a lot of us come out of, people were much freer to create and much freer to express their ideas, at least in the Western world, where it just seems to me that...
Not so?
Well, I don't know. No, I just see... Well, I know that, for instance, there are groups of people that are boycotting sponsors of television shows that they don't like.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't like them for specific reasons, though. A lot of these people that are boycotting those shows, they've got children. They show things on the shows they don't want their children to see. Television now goes into every home. There's not much you can do about it. It's better than outlawing TV sets.
Yeah, but isn't it? I mean, can't they just not have their children watch the TV?
Think about 40 years ago, there wasn't any TV sets, so there was nothing to boycott.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, another thing is I was just reading recently where it seems that in the United States this abortion question is becoming one of the major political controversies at home.
Well,
that's what I mean. These are just
those are just diversions, though. They whatever you think about abortion, pro, con, if they can get you thinking about those things, then they put you away with the bigger things, which you're not thinking about. So you get everybody thinking about abortion, and you turn your back for a minute on what. Not to say abortion's not important, but you can make something so cast a spotlight on something and make everybody look that way, and then you come at them from another direction.
No, but that sounds like it's conspiratorial.
Yeah, it does, don't it?
Yeah, it does. I don't think it is, but I don't think people sit in rooms and say, well, let's divert them with the abortion issue, and then we can slip this in when they're not looking.
You don't think so?
That is that calculated? Do you think it is?
I don't know.
Not either.
No, abortion is important, though. I mean, I personally don't believe in it, but unless, of course, somebody needs to have their life saved. But
well, it's not whether believing in abortion.
Well, if you eat too much candy, you're going to get sick.
But people should have, it seems to me, just the right to make choices about themselves, since it doesn't hurt anybody else. It's like,
Well, everybody does have the choice to make about themselves.
Could you kind of just tell me what people mean, what it really means when people describe themselves as born again, which is something we hear a lot about from a lot of people. There are millions of people who say that they're born again.
Yeah. What they mean by saying that is that they're born again by the Spirit from above. Born once is born with the Spirit from below, which when you're born, it's the Spirit that you're born with. Born again is born with the Spirit from above, which is a little bit different.
Do you know how it happens to people? Is it an experience? Is it a decision that one makes, or is it an experience that just comes from nowhere? Is it unconscious? Is it conscious?
Well, it happens in all kinds of ways. There's really no one way that it happens. I guess if you talk to this person, they'll tell you that it was an unconscious thing. If you talk to another one, they'll say it was a conscious decision. Some people say they just heard the voice on a lonesome road. Other people say they were in the middle of a football game. Some people are in the men's room of a Greyhound bus station. Sometimes you don't have to be in any special situation that it might come up in.
Let's talk about "Shot of Love." That's
okay.
It's the new album. I was sitting.
Talk about "Saved."
What? We'll talk about "Saved" too. I thought we'll ease back into it. Well, I mean, I think somebody once said, "Don't look back."
Yeah. Okay. Now, "Shot of Love" is the new record we have coming out.
And it's also kind of a return, it seems to me, to an album of songs that cover a whole lot of different subjects. There are love songs in it. There's a song about Lenny Bruce. This song, that, as opposed to "Saved," which was really a collection of religious songs. It was basically one theme to that album. Yeah. And "Shot of Love" is a return to a more eclectic album. I'm wondering whether that isn't something that just happens haphazardly, or whether it isn't something that's whether you say, listen, I think I better get back. I mean, "Saved" maybe was too much stuff in one vein, or too narrow in scope, and maybe I ought to get back to doing a whole bunch of songs, or whether those are just the songs that came out of you.
Yeah, those are the songs that just wanted to come out. I never know one album to the next what kind of songs I'm going to be doing. It amazes me that I even continue to make albums.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's just that much. It's always a miracle of some kind when I make an album, because it's so contrary to the way I move. Working in a studio has always been very difficult for me.
You approach record making a lot differently than a lot people do.
Well,
Some people spend a year in the studio.
I approach record making in the way that I learned how to make records when I started recording. When I recorded for John Hammond, and we worked the same way, which is going into the studio and making a record right then and there. I know the other way, and I know a lot of people do it the other way, and it's successful for them. But I'm not interested in that aspect of recording, laying down tracks and then coming back and perfecting those tracks and then perfecting lyrics which seem to want to go to those tracks, and songs are created in the recording studio. Where for me, see, I'm a live performer. I have to play songs which are going to relate to the faces that I'm singing to. And I can't do that if I go, if I'm spending a year in the studio working on a track. It's not that important to me. It's just, no record is that important. The world's going to go on. Nobody, who needs these records? You know what I mean?
Well, but the point is, though, the record, simply, that's why it's called a record, I guess.
Right.
It's forever.
Well,
the record's forever, too.
The record is forever. Well, it is forever,
it's like a book,
but it's forever, I guess. But
well,
it sure is.
Yeah, but you're saying that like you never thought about that before. I
never did think about that before. But I see in my records. I hear records that I made 20 years ago. I say, oh man, thank God I make that record.
But that record will be here if the world is 1,000 years from. That record is here.
It is.
Bob, long after you're gone, all these records will be here, and people will listen to them and think, well, one thing or another about this guy who made these records 400 years ago.
Oh, poor me. But they seem important at the time. They really do. And yeah, they are important. I'm not saying that records aren't important, but it's also new. Making records is new. Well, just the fact that we're doing this interview now through this tape recorder, we couldn't have done this.
No, there wouldn't have been any radio stations to play it on 75 years ago.
No.
The point remains that, as an artist, there must be some, I just hope this guitar isn't, I don't know, because I can't hear it back. I just hope it's not louder than we are, which will make it difficult for people to hear us on the thing, even though I'm enjoying it immensely.
Well, I'll play it softly then.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great. I'm enjoying hearing it. It's an old guitar. It's really beat up. It's been around the world a few times, I guess.
Well, I've carried it around the world a few times. I think somebody else carried it around before that, too.
Now, where were we? What I wanted to say about a record being forever, that there must be some concern from you as a man and an artist that people will be hearing this thing and coming to conclusions about Bob Dylan, long after you're gone, and there must be something you would like to leave in the world for those people who will hear these records, something that they'll get that will give meaning to your life after your life is over.
Well, I'm not done yet. I'm still doing it, and I'm still not knowing why I'm doing it. Come on, there's other things that I would really, enjoy doing besides playing and.
Like what? If any man can do what he wants to do, you can.
Like what?
I can't answer that.
Well, like become a doctor. Or I think a surgeon, who can save somebody's life on the highway. That's the man I'm going to look up to. As being somebody with some talent,
Think you could get into med school?
Not to say now that art is valueless. I think art can lead you to God. But
is that its purpose?
I think so. I think that's everything's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not doing that, what's it doing? It's leading you the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not certainly leaving you nowhere. It's bringing you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's either bringing you that way or this way.
Well, if it expresses truth and beauty, then it's leading you to God.
Yeah.
What wouldn't you say?
If it's expressing truth, I'd say it's leading you to God, and beauty also.
I always thought those are the only two absolutes that there were.
Well, beauty can be very, very deceiving. And it's not always of God.
Would you elaborate on that a bit?
Well, beauty appeals to our eyes.
Or to our heart?
Our heart's not good. If your heart's not good, what good does beauty do that comes through your eyes, going down to your heart, which isn't good anyway?
The beauty of a sunset?
Beauty of the beast.
But
the beauty of the sunset. Now that's a very special kind of beauty.
Well, how about the beauty of the natural world? I mean,
that's like the flowers and
yes, and the beasts, and the
field,
rain, you know.
All that is beautiful. That's God given. I've spent a lot of time dealing with the man-made beauty, so that sometimes the beauty of God's world has evaded me.
On Shot of Love, there's a song called Lenny Bruce, which you perform just at the piano.
Right.
And I love the song because I loved Lenny Bruce and was a great admirer of his when he was alive and working, and of course since his death. But what occurred to me, it's a long time since Lenny's gone. I think he went in the summer of 1967, I think it was. And why, after all these years, this song about Lenny Bruce?
You know, I have no idea.
Did that song just come to you somewhere?
Yeah, I wrote that song in about 5 minutes. It is true, I wrote it once in taxi cab, but I thought it was a little strange after he died that people made such a hero out of him that when he was alive he couldn't even get a break. I thought and certainly now, comedy is rank and dirty and vulgar and very unfunny and stupid and wishy-washy and the whole thing.
Some people thought he was rank and dirty and vulgar.
But he was doing this same sort of thing many years ago, and maybe some people don't realize that there was a Lenny Bruce, you know, who did this before, and this is what happened to him. So these people can do what they're doing now. I don't know, you know.
Lenny spent a lot of time bad-mouthing the church, too. Well, from the point of view of the organized churches, is there, in your way of seeing things, is there a very big difference between the political structure of the various churches, no matter what the denomination might be, and what the Spirit is all about? Do you think that the Catholic Church, traditional Judaism, or any way that religions are organized and filled with rites and rituals, is that part of really of what you feel the truth of the Spirit of God is all about?
Well, that's a complicated question. I'm not an authority on Catholicism, you know, or ritual has really very nothing to do with spiritual laws. However, if you do walk according to the law, all of the law, well, you'll be a pretty pure person and on a pretty high level. A person who could, no doubt, move mountains if you walked according to the law. Now, most people can't walk according to the law, though, because it's so difficult. There are so many laws that govern just about, you know, to govern absolutely every area of your life.
Maybe it takes more than one lifetime to get all of that. Is the fact that we come back again and again something that, I'm talking about reincarnation and the fact that we maybe spend more than one, let's say the Hindu way of believing that we that we get in touch with our own divinity and learn and do walk according to the law that it takes more than one life. I think there's a possibility that might be the way. I mean, what's 60, 70, 80 years?
It's not a whole lot of time, but when you think you need another lifetime?
Do I? Yes. I might need a couple of hundred.
Another lifetime?
No, how much does a man have to...
How many do you want?
What do you have to pay not to go through this thing twice?
That's it. That's right. Now I figure if you can't learn it here, you can't learn
it. Back to Lenny Bruce. And the fact that it's yet another Bob Dylan song about, as you even say in the song, an outlaw. And a lot of your stuff, a lot of your songs over the years, Lenny Bruce, Outlaw Blues, Joey Gallo, Hurricane Carter, Absolutely Sweet Marie, To Live Outside the Law, You Must Live Honest. A lot of outlaw imagery and outlaws in your work. And what is it about man as outlaw that intrigues you so, or that you spend a lot of time on?
Well, it's not there again, I don't think it's anything conscious. I guess it has to go with where I grew up, how I grew up, I always grew up, admiring those type of heroes. Robin Hood, Jesse James, the person who always kicked against the oppression. And it was it had high moral standards. And I don't know if these people I write about have high moral standards. I don't know if Robin Hood did, but you always assume that they did.
Joey Gallo did.
In some kind of way, you have to assume that he did in some kind of area. It's like, I've never written a song about some
Texas sniper or
some rapist, or Texas sniper. Yeah.
Forget his name, up in the tower there, right?
Yeah. No, I've written a song. I think what I intend to do is just show the individualism of that certain type of breed or a certain type of person that must do that, and but there is some type of standard I have for whoever I'm writing about. I mean, it amazes me that I would write a song about Joey Gallo.
But you did.
Yeah.
Well, long one, too.
Very long one, yeah.
Very long one.
Yeah, what was that,
about 11
half
minutes.
Hour or something?
About 11 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Well, I feel that, if I didn't do it, who would?
That's right. I never thought of it.
But that's an old tradition. I think I picked that up in the folk tradition. When I was singing nothing but folk songs for years, that there are many songs, a lot of Irish ballads, Browdy McCauley, names skip my mind.
Well, there must be 100 songs about Jesse James.
Jesse James, Cole Younger, the U.S. Bandits, Billy the Kid, then of course the English ballads they had them, and then the Scottish ballads had them, and the Irish ballads, and I used to sing a lot of those songs, and that just kind of carried over with me into the whatever this period, special brand of music that I play now is. It just kind of carried over into that.
People who know you and work with you and know you and all have told me the last few days, getting ready to talk to you, is that they've never seen you more relaxed and content and
people always say that.
No, they don't always. They really don't always say that. I have a feeling that you are experiencing that. It's a real nice place in your life for you right now on this European tour, and otherwise I don't think we'd be sitting here talking. If you were preoccupied with a lot of things or felt out of sync with yourself, I think you probably are feeling pretty centered right now. as your friends are
Well,
saying.
I know what I have to do, and I'm just trying to do it. That's about all, really.
The ego's got to play a big part in being a performer. Not everybody can go out there night after night, do what you do, and hear that applause. And how much does that play? How much of a part does that play in? I mean, do you feel a little bit like maybe you're hooked on the stage and on the celebrity-dom of it all?
No, I'm not hooked on the celebrity yet. The celebrity part of it.
Could you be an anonymous person?
I try to be an anonymous person, yeah. As far as the applause goes, I get just as much. What kind of applause? I get a lot of noise. Sometimes it's applause, sometimes it's booing, sometimes it's So whatever. You just get used to it over the years. I've been doing it for so long that whatever the applause is doesn't surprise me anymore.
But isn't it nicer when it's big applause than one hand clapping?
Yeah, it's a lot more comfortable.
Sure. Well, that's what I mean. Isn't it nicer when the album, is in the top 10 instead of hanging around at 45 or something?
It is and it isn't. Like Slow Train was a big album. Saved doesn't have those kind of numbers, but to me it was just as big an album.
So it really matters little to you,
No.
the acceptance or the rejection on the part of record buyers?
It doesn't. I'm fortunate that I'm in a position to release an album like Saved with a major record company, so it'll be available to the people who would like to buy it. Now,
was there a time in your life in the past when you'd be on the phone, hey, what did the album do this week, or is the single did it go from 8 to 4? Was there a time when you really got off on that kind of stuff?
well, you always want to know what's happening with your record. So, the first few weeks, you'll call up and find out, if it's selling or if it's not selling, or sure.
Has the music business changed in the 15 years or so that you've been making records?
Very much so. Oh, yeah.
Boy, I wish we were on TV, you would have seen an expression on Don's face that an actual wince of pain shot through you there.
Now this last record that we just did was a comfortable record for me to make because of Chuck. Okay, because
CBS?
No, Chuck.
The
Plotkin.
producer,
Right. So
Chuck
we worked
Plotkin.
together on it. Okay, up until then, he made the record the way I wanted to make the record, and he understood that, and he wanted to make the record in the same way. But the record business has changed because, see, when I went in what they call, not even the early days, it was in the 60s, really. Everybody made records the same way as I did. No matter who you were, Beatles, Rolling Stones, the Animals, the Byrds.
Maybe we should just explain to people that means all the people who were on the record were in the studio in the same room at the same time,
Right.
playing at the same time.
And you made the record.
And you made the record.
And you were a group, you were somebody before you went in and made the record. You were somebody.
You earned the
Yeah.
privilege of making the record.
You'd played enough dues to make a record. Now, people don't pay no more dues no more. They expect to make a record right away without anybody even hearing them. And then you'll find a producer. They have so many producers now. They didn't have that many producers back then. A producer was what they call an A&R man. Now you have all these producers who are in themselves stars. And it's their record. I don't think of myself as being told, what to do all the time,
Are you on one side of the gun control issue or another? Do you think that this business of all the guns we have in America? I notice here in London the policemen don't even have guns on their hips. They don't carry weapons.
Well, they have a much lower crime rate over here too. Well, you can't change the states in that kind of way. There's too many people. It didn't get off on the right start on as far as guns. The United States is like gun crazy. Always has been gun crazy. White man used to shoot the Indians with guns. guns have been a great part of America's past.
We glorify the gun a lot.
Yeah. So there's nothing you can do about it. The gun is just something which America has got, lives with. I don't think gun control is make any difference at all. But just make it harder for people who need to be protected.
And you quoted him in a Playboy interview a few years ago. You said Henry Miller said that the role of an artist is to inoculate the world with disillusionment.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of what you try to do with your work as an artist?
No, I don't consciously try to inoculate anybody. No, there's I just have to hope that in some kind of way, this music that I've always played is a healing kind of music. I mean, if it isn't, I don't want to do it. Because there's enough stuff, so-called music out there, which is sick music. It's just sick. It's made by sick people, and it's played to sick people to further a whole world of sickness. Now, this is not only true in music. This is true in film industry. It's true in the magazine industry. Certainly a lot of it on television, billboard signs. It caters to people's sickness. There's a lot of that. And if I can't do something that is telling people or hoping anyway that they whatever their sickness is, I mean, we're all sick. Whatever it is, you can be healed and well and set straight. Well, if I can't do that, then I'd just soon be on a boat. I'd just soon be off, hiking through the woods.
There's a song on Shot of Love, Every Grain of Sand, which is about as healing a song as I've ever heard from you.
Oh,
it's a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah, I wrote that last summer.
Did I get you right?
I think I wrote that last summer.
Is that what you mean by hopefully healing music?
I would hope so.
I'm Robert Knight. That's Bob Fass, and that's
Hi.
Bob Dylan. Good morning, Bob.
Hi.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm okay.
Been quite a while since I talked to you or you to the world over WBAI. Although, what's that?
I said, yeah, it has been quite a while, right?
So far, but at the moment, it's right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have any messages for you?
What's happening now? What you doing?
Well, Bob, it's your birthday in a couple of days. I probably slipped your mind.
Birthday back. I forgot to tell you.
What's that?
I pushed my birthday back this year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you go to court and have it legally changed?
No, I just did.
You went to an astrologer?
No, I just,
Is that Dylan saving time?
Is that a way to save time?
Sure is, yeah.
Uh-huh. I think that will catch on. When did you push it back to?
Push it back just a few weeks.
Uh-huh. When will it be now?
I don't know. I'd like it to be in New York, I think I'll push it back, actually, until I get there.
Well, today is the third day of the rest of your life,
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. This is Steve Ben Israel, man. How you doing? Love you, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're doing here in New York is thanking you for having this next birthday, whenever it may be.
And for all of the others, and for the very first one. We're all very grateful. I was just talking about how I have been led to you at the very first, looking for other people. First time I went to hear you, I heard Lightning Hopkins, or at least that's who I thought I would remember from that moment. But I guess it might just as well have been John Lee Hooker. And there you were playing with him. And I sort of thought, what you did was wonderful, but not humble enough. That's who I was then.
Yeah.
Second time I heard you, I thought, God, this guy has a lot of talent. Now, why is he doing things this way instead of that way? Because that's where I was at the time. And all through my life, without ever having talked to you about it, I've heard you singing the story of my life, and you weren't even there. And I talked to other people, and you've been telling them the news about their life all those years, too. And we just want to say thank you for it, Bob. Thank you, Bobby.
I appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
I'm somebody who'll sing about my life.
Well, people don't sing about your life, you know. People don't tell stories on you. You want to tell a few on yourself?
No. Stories, I don't have many.
You have millions of stories, it seems.
Do you ever find it inhibiting the...
No. Who's this? Still Bob?
This is Robert Knight.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you ever find it limiting to know that what you do means so much to so many.
What?
How does it feel to sing the same song, Blowing in the Wind, for 30 years?
Well, it still feels the same, you know? Still feels like it was just written yesterday.
It sounds like you still mean it, really mean it. And one time you told me you didn't think people would get it about one particular song. And I really think people are getting it. Maybe a little too late.
Well.
But,
well, you know, it's nice to be appreciated, though, on any level. At any time.
Well, we don't mean to embarrass you, Bobby. We just want to say thank you. And ask you maybe to tell us a few details about your going around the world. You going to make any unusual stops on your world tour?
Unusual?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to visit the Middle East?
Oh, you know, they're all unusual.
You gonna come down, hang down McDougal Street on this next New York gig, Bob? This is Steve, man.
Yeah.
Gonna come down to Cafe Borgia for an espresso, huh?
All right.
Okay, we'll see you there.
Okay, who's this now?
Steve Ben Israel, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what more can I say?
Well, have you been listening to anything interesting musically lately?
Well, let me see. Can't remember.
Have you heard Falco?
Falco.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, he's got the #1 song, and he's got one of your songs on his album. He's German.
Oh. Which one?
Baby Blue.
Oh, all right. I remember that. I still do that once in a while.
We'd love to hear you doing it soon. That birthday that you're pushing back, have you picked a date yet?
No, not really. I'm pushing back sometime in June.
June?
Yeah.
All right.
June 17th.
Okay. Why June 17th?
That's the extra concert that's been added to Madison Square Garden because the first two have been sold out, so they've added one on June 17th.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they've added a concert on June 17th because the first two were sold out. So try June 17th. Sounds like a good night for birthday.
Yeah.
Anything interesting in the music you've been doing lately?
Well, I'm just making another record, you know.
Uh-huh. Have you been writing alone or with other people this time?
Let's see, it's about, yeah, I did a song with Sam Shepard, you know Sam.
Yeah.
We wrote a song a while back that I think is coming out now. And, I don't know, yeah, different people come in and out, you know.
Sam Shepard was in Ronaldo and Clara. You discovered him as an actor.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe not, but that could, I don't know whether that even could be said, but I discovered him through you, is what I really mean.
Yeah, he's good, you know.
Yeah, so are you, man. So are you. Sam Shepard, why don't you tell a story of what part he played in that?
Who, Sam?
Yeah.
What did he play? I don't know. I can't remember. He played a cowboy, didn't he? Played a cowboy involved in three-way conversation or something, didn't he?
Well, what was that three-way conversation like?
I don't remember.
Well, I do. I sat through Ronaldo and Clara 4 times.
Wasn't he sitting on a couch there with a woman?
It was a 7.5-hour movie.
It was what?
A 7.5-hour movie when I saw it. Probably should have been 15.
Yeah, it could have been 15. You know, in India they have those movies that are 22 hours long, you know. I mean, I like them long myself.
What's the album called?
I think it's called Knocked Out Loaded.
Huh.
Is that your favorite way of producing? I see there's a visual environment for some musical releases now.
Yeah, you mean like videos?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really thinking about any videos right now.
Well, I mean, when I hear your songs, I see a movie in my head, whether it's a video or not. And, I mean, no video could measure up completely to my own imagination, or certainly to yours. I wonder if you worked on a video or a movie, what that would be like. Ronaldo and Clara was really a gorgeous movie, and certainly the music which we've been playing from Ronaldo and Clara was just gorgeous, gorgeous concert music and private music.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Bob, and happy birthday. I have a feeling that you're, standing there kind of tugging at your collar when your friends say surprise and you walk in the door.
No, as a matter of fact, I don't even have a shirt on. I'm born, you know.
Mm-hmm. Bob, a lot of people have attributed inspirations to you, but I'd like to reverse that process and wonder if you, as a person being performed, have noted any particular changes or messages from the people and audiences that you see currently.
Say that once more now.
When you perform, I wonder if you as a performer also receive messages from the audience, or feelings or attitudes.
All the time. I think everybody feels, every performer feels.
What signals are you getting now? What's coming to you?
I don't know. You mean when? Last time out? Well,
yeah.
You know, it changes from night to night. Certain people always they pick out, you know, or they pick you out or something.
Mm-hmm. You get any feeling about the kind of people who go to hear music today? I see lots of young people at your concert.
Young, old, you know, everybody goes to listen to music.
The audience gets younger as you get older.
You're a father.
Some do, yeah.
You must have some attitude about your children's music, too.
I don't know. I don't know if I do or not. They listen to what they listen to, you know. Talking on the radio here in the time.
Well, we're waiting on you, Bob. We want to know what you have to say in some way. Maybe you've always said that your music speaks for you. But there have been a couple of very pungent quotes that we've heard. People are always asking you about religion, and people are always asking you about politics. But I remember that you used to say, things that actually happened to you in your life. That I mean, I've carried stories around in my head for a long time that you told me. Like I don't know whether you even remember it yourself. I think maybe some of the things you told me then those days you made up. But I remember a story you told once about working, guarding a pig at night as she was giving birth. You remember that story?
What?
That's the story you told me.
About a pig in the night?
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, that you had to keep watching this sow to stop her from eating her children.
What's that now?
Now, I've heard from other people who worked on farms that sometimes a pig gives birth and eats.
Oh, yeah, lots of animals do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was your job, you said, to watch this all night and to stop it.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I had a job at testing for a while.
Uh-huh. What you been doing lately?
I'm making this. I can't remember what I was doing lately. I've been locked up in the studio for seems like a long time.
Well, who is producing this latest album?
Produces albums?
Yeah, this next one.
Oh, I don't know. Whoever wants to, I guess.
Bob, is it true you're moving?
Well, anyone you want.
How do you get in touch with you?
Are you moving back to New York?
People who'd like to do that, I think.
What people do that?
I think there are probably a string of people all over the world who would like to produce your next album.
Well,
long lines, stretching blocks, you know, like...
I don't know, I'm pretty hard to produce. I'm hard enough for me to produce it, so.
I think you probably lose more songs than you record. I mean, probably you don't lose them so much anymore. But there are massive numbers of songs that are attributed to you and circulating, recorded by you. Some of them I know you're really angry about. And I've heard some of them, and I think they're gorgeous, just gorgeous. How do you feel about this avid thirst that people have to hear what you've got to say lately about practically anything?
Well, I mean, you say it's true. I mean, I don't know it is.
Well, you know, I hear from people who circulate your tapes. I hear people have circulated tapes through a kind of a
radio station. Yeah.
A kind of an underground network called Wanted Man. Have you ever heard about that?
What?
Wanted Man.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about that?
Oh, yeah. I did that. I don't think I ever recorded that, actually.
No. Wanted Man is a group of people who collect your occult recordings.
Oh, is that right?
And they exchange them. They don't sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I know you get pretty angry about some of that, and I know maybe we shouldn't talk about what's been stolen from you, especially on your birthday.
Let's not talk about theft.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Well,
maybe, I don't mean to impose on you, but...
No, I'd just like to wish everybody happy birthday, you know?
Oh, well, same to the rest of us, and to you. And bless you, man.
Okay.
Bob, this is Steve.
Okay, Steve.
Listen, it's great you're coming out and playing these last couple of years, and the last albums we really love, and it's a beautiful affirmation.
Oh, I like that, man. Well, thank you.
And it's like a lot of artists around the world, you know, keeping up the continuum of, like, you know, hope in life and creativity, and it's a great affirmation to us all, baby.
Forward to coming to New York.
Yeah, here, it's great.
Seeing everybody. I know I have a lot of friends there, you know?
Sure you do.
When will you be here?
Sometime this summer.
We'll be here.
Huh?
We'll be here.
Well, you ought to come down and come on down, you know.
Why did you decide to come on out right now and embark on a world tour? Any particular reason?
Is this Steve?
This is Robert.
Oh, Robert. Oh, Robert, you know, I never stopped working. I've been working since 79, 78, 79, 81. I haven't stopped working. So now there's a lot of, you know, it seems the last time we were in East Coast, we played, I think I played Hartford and Meadowlands or somewhere. I don't know. But, you know, you can only play where people want you to play. And so I was only doing regional tours, but I've never stopped working. It just seems like now there's more of a demand for this show that we're going out with now. So I don't know, nothing's changed around here. Y'all miss my gospel tours.
No, we have heard a lot about them.
Yeah.
And we intend to be playing a lot of your gospel music.
Yeah.
We have two segments coming up. One is about your
record you should play. There's a I know group used to be called the Alley Cats. Now they call the Zarkons. I think they're pretty good.
All right.
You might have their record in your...
The Zarkons, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what are they like?
Oh, they're young, you know, funky rock and roll kind of thing.
You have any feeling about how music is going to go next?
Where music's going next?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we say about music going is musicians leading the pack, and a lot of it's product. But how do you feel about where you're going to be listening next?
What?
Where are you going to be listening next?
Where am I going to be listening next? I'll probably be going and listening
to Tom Petty and
you know,
Heartbreakers.
I don't know where I'm going to be listening next. Tom Petty? Tom Petty's pretty good, you know. You play his records?
Yeah, we have been.
Yeah, you should. 'Cause
I've seen some of his videos, and they're wonderful.
well, you know, you can't tell much from video. I've seen it too. You really have to see somebody live to see what they're doing. You know that, right?
Well, we've had the opportunity to see you quite a bit more lately on Farm Aid and on the Don't Play Sun City.
Sun City, yeah.
Yeah. What was that like?
What, Sun City?
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never been there.
Oh, I didn't expect that. I meant, what was recording it like?
What is the recording of it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just did my small part, you know, with Jackson Browne.
Well, it sure looked good in the snatches that I've seen of it, and it was wonderful to see musicians a couple of times.
New York now.
What's that?
What's happening in New York now? Is anything going on?
Well, space is the last frontier.
Space?
Yeah. Yeah, people, there's a whole new class of homeless people every 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Manhattan gets sold every 15 minutes.
Manhattan just sold everything?
Every 15 minutes, Manhattan gets sold, Bobby. Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes. Wow. Where they all coming from?
Follow the bouncing coin.
It's homeless?
They're the ones that don't fit anymore.
Yeah. Well, none of us fit anymore, you know.
A lot of homeless dictators end up here.
Who ain't homeless?
Well, I mean, that's true. You know, we're all.
You know,
some of us are prisoners and some of us are guards.
Over their heads. I know that's true.
What's that?
I know that's true what you were saying. There's a lot of people on the streets that don't have a place to go when it's raining and cold.
You see them in Southern California?
Yeah, you see them everywhere, you know. Seems to be more of them these days.
Yeah, Marty Sheen played that. Marty Sheen played that movie the other night about Mitch Snyder, the guy who takes care of the people in the street in Washington, and that whole struggle.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. I heard about that.
Yeah, quite spectacular.
Some people are worrying about nuclear things.
Yeah, we always were doing that since the invented that. Nuclear, God, that never moves away, does it?
Afraid not.
Well, it seems to be receding, or at least people are becoming more and more aware of it. As you said once, the answer is...
Blowing in the wind.
Right. Glowing in the wind.
Radiation? Oh, it's just like having an X-ray. All day.
Yeah, right.
Wash your vegetables and have your iodine tablets, Bob. Do you think you might like to talk to some people who are calling up on our telephone?
That.
What's that?
I'd love that. I just want to see if I have any more time.
You got any more quarters? Put in the phone?
Put that mixed up yet. Just ask me to put that up.
All right. If you'd like to talk,
To do that.
if you'd like to talk to Bob Dylan, our telephone number is 279-3407, and we'll put you on your honor. WBAI is trying to raise a little money, and if you want to talk to Bob Dylan on WBAI after you talk to him, call up 279-3400 and pledge your support to WBAI.
And you're on the air.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, is Bob there?
Yeah.
Bob, how you doing?
Okay.
Okay, great. I'd like to wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You're quite welcome. I'd just like to say I grew up with your music. I learned more from your music than I did in school.
Well, who's this?
Walter from Dumont, New Jersey.
Oh,
A friend of yours.
all right.
I'd just like to say I got tickets for you in New York. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, okay. I look forward to seeing you.
Well, I'll be there for sure, no doubt.
All right.
Okay, thanks for calling. You're on the air.
Hello, Mr. Dillon. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I can't hear her.
We'll repeat it. You say it, and we'll repeat it.
Oh, I want to, Mr. Dillon, talk about Woody Guthrie. I'm 16 years old. I just finished reading Bound for Glory. I was wondering if you could, say what it was like to know Woody Guthrie.
A 16-year-old who just read
Bound for Glory.
wants to know what it was like.
To know Woody Guthrie.
Well, I never knew Woody Guthrie when he was traveling around. You'd have to probably ask Jack Elliott about that. I knew Woody in his last days. He was just sitting mostly in a chair, being wheeled in and out. And his situation had pretty much deteriorated from when he was out rambling around, So,
Yeah,
it still was, it was a thrill. I remember I felt like I'd made a pilgrimage and a journey and I'd accomplished what I'd set out to do, but it really wasn't it except just, opening another door or something. But I can still remember seeing Woody in the hospital, and then sometimes I'd be taking him out. And that's the Woody I remember. He had, what he looked like, And he'd sing his songs, and we would play them for him. It's been so long ago. It seems like the other day, but I don't really have any stories like the guys calling would like to hear. If he wanted to, Jack would be the guy to talk to.
Have you seen Jack lately?
No, I haven't seen Jack in a while.
We've been trying to get in touch with him, actually. He owes a lot of us money.
Yeah.
No.
This is WBAI, and you're on the air.
Yeah, I'd like to say happy birthday to Bob, and it's good to hear him on BAI. Surprised me. I'd like to ask him if he's looking forward to touring with the Grateful Dead. I know he's playing in, I guess, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and a shot near Buffalo in an RFK Stadium, I believe. Wonder if he's looking forward to it.
I can't hear.
He wants to know about your tour with the Dead in RFK Stadium.
Uh-huh.
Wants to know whether you're looking forward to it. We are.
I don't know. I've never played that place before. I'm sure it'll be a good show. It's a stadium, right? I don't know, you know.
Hi, has he ever played with Jerry Garcia before?
You ever played with Jerry Garcia?
Oh, yeah. I've known Jerry for a long time. We go back a long way. Yeah, I played with Jerry a lot of times.
That's great.
Thank you for calling.
Yep.
This is WBAI. You're on the air with Bob Dylan.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Okay, Bob, can you hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Okay, good, great. Hey, I'm another admirer of yours, and and a songwriter to boot. And I would like to say happy birthday, and Yom Huledet Sameach, and Yesher Koach, and keep it on. And,
Okay.
and I'm listening, man.
All right.
Okay, and my name's David Indian, and I love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
I happen to know that David Indian wrote a song about the nuclear home port in New York City, Bob, where they want to put a nuclear surface action group and some atomic missiles and such. And the politicians think it's a good idea, but a lot of people think it's crazy. And David Indian wrote a song called Nuclear Free Harbor.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll get to hear it.
Yeah. Are there things you think important for people maybe to be thinking about in the world in the context of also hearing music?
Well, yeah.
Like what?
Well, I mean, you know, like what do you mean think about? What do you mean?
What's happening in the world that's important that people might respond to, take part in, or affect?
Well, there's a lot happening in all kinds of different parts of the world. Europe, if you go through Europe, the people are different there. You know, they think about different things there. As if, South America, they think about different things. The United States think about different things. Everything doesn't rotate around the United States any more than the sun rotates around the world, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So, I don't know.
What are some of the things that you're thinking about?
What was I thinking about? I don't know. I was thinking about, I ain't thinking about anything too profound at the moment. I'm just trying to get my mind is pretty much focused down on what I'm doing here at the moment, at the present time. So I haven't really thought about the bombs and the heartache and misery and that seems to be swallowing the planet.
It'll be there.
Right.
What are you doing? I mean, could you tell us a little more about the
Bob Dylan?
about the album besides the name? Yeah, you're.
No, there's not much I can tell. I just started working on it, kind of get it right and get it done by the end of the month. So I had to get all my tracks together. It is the same old thing, Bob. You know what I mean? Hello? So that's what I've been doing pretty much full throttle here.
We have another caller on the air.
Hello, Bob.
There's a new caller. Speak up and we'll repeat so Bob can hear.
Hello, Bob. Can you hear me, Bob? Yeah, barely.
All right. My girlfriend saw you in Australia. My name's Dave.
Huh?
My girlfriend saw you in the Heartbreakers in Australia. Is that right?
I can't hear
Saw you in Australia
with the
Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Were you happy behind those shows there in Australia?
Were you happy with those shows?
Was I what?
Were you happy with those shows?
I thought they were good, yeah.
Why do you ask, caller?
Just curious, because it was really well received, and I don't know, it seems like Bob's kind of taken on a new vitality, more or less. I mean, he seems to be doing a lot more guitar playing, and he just seems really more charged than he's been in a long time. And I was just wondering if he's sort of
changed his color at all.
He says you've been doing a lot of good work. You've been playing a lot of guitar. It seems as if you've taken on a new vitality.
And you're more charged.
Oh. Well, that's nice to know.
Thank you for calling. And you're on the air.
Can I speak to Bob Dylan, please?
You are.
Go ahead.
Bob?
Speak loudly.
Hello, Bob?
Go ahead. He's there. He can hear you. Or we'll repeat it.
Here, something.
Yeah, Bob Fest is a nudist, don't you know?
This is WBAI, and you're on the air.
Hello, Bob. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We'll repeat if he doesn't hear you the first time.
I'd just like to say thanks for many, many years of some great music, and wanted to ask if he would ever find time in his busy schedule to perhaps make an appearance at the Clearwater Revival up on Croton-on-the-Hudson for a good cause.
Maybe someday you could come to Croton-on-Hudson for the Clearwater Revival.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay. WBAI, you're on the air.
Bob? Happy birthday. I thought maybe you'd like to make a few reflections on Phil Oakes.
Happy birthday, and could you reflect on Phil Oakes?
Phil Oakes. Oh, Phil Oakes. Well, I think something happened to Phil, when he went to Africa. And, he was sick when he got back from Africa, and he was sick for a few years.
Someone tried to choke him.
Messed his mind up also. Because I knew him a while before that. And, I don't know, he got sick in Africa. That's about all I can tell you about it. I don't know much more.
Okay. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Bob. Happy birthday. I want to ask you, I heard something, this is Larry Levinstein, you don't know me though. I want to know, are you doing a new movie? I heard something about Hearts of Fire.
Oh, is that a Hearts of Fire?
Something that you were signed up to do a new movie?
Just a little bit louder?
Yeah, as a new movie, as a 60s rock and roll star.
Okay, yeah.
What's the deal?
I don't know, they asked me to do this movie, so I read the script,
Yeah.
And this part they wanted me to play seemed, I think, yeah, I could play that part, I know that character.
Yeah.
So,
Who wrote it?
Joe Westerhoff wrote it. He's a pretty good writer, actually. He wrote some other stuff. I read a story he wrote once. I don't remember when, but I remember I liked it.
Bobby, good luck with it, and thanks for everything. You're terrific.
All right.
Take care.
Okay, you're on the air.
Hi. I wanted to ask Bob Dylan a couple of things. One is, what did he mean by everybody must get stoned? Okay. And the other thing is, has he had any good dreams lately?
Two questions for you, Bob. What did you mean when you said everybody must get stoned? And have you had any good dreams lately? Did you hear that?
Stoned. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody what? Everybody must get stoned.
Yes. What did you mean by that? And have you had any good dreams lately?
No dreams. Nothing to report there.
So what did you mean?
What I mean, everybody must get stoned. Well, no, you see, that's just like you can sort of make, how can you put it? Everybody must get stoned. It's like, when you go against the tide, you might in different times find yourself in an unfortunate situation, and so to do what you believe in sometimes, people, some people, they just take offense to that. You can look throughout history and find that people have taken offense to people who who come out with a different viewpoint on things. And being stoned is, I guess, just kind of a way of saying that.
Robert and I just played a little snatch of that song.
This is Bob Sass. I'm going to have to go.
Oh, Bob Dylan, thank you very much for talking to us. There are hundreds and thousands of people who are calling us now and waiting to talk to you, but they'll have to wait till you get to New York.
Okay.
And I really am very grateful, and I want to wish you many, many happy years, man. And thank you for making my years more profound and deeper as I listen to your wonderful, wonderful music.
See you, Bobby.
Bye-bye.
See you. Take care, man. Love you.
All right, y'all take care.
Good night. You too, man. Bye.
This is WBAI in New York. I'm Robert Knight. That's Bob Fass, and this is Bob Dylan.
They'll stone you just like they said they would.